Hello fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to ReeYees Retro Toys. On today's episode, I'm going to give you an update to my vintage toy collection. This will be collection update number 12 to be exact. Of course, I picked some things off of camera that I don't always film the location while I'm toy hunting. I got some things at Time Traveler Toys down in Winchester. I got some more things at DNE Collectibles. Some stuff online from eBay, Mercari, and I thought I'd give you guys an update of all of the other vintage goodness that I picked up along the way. So, without further ado, let's get to the toys. So the first thing I wanted to show you was an item I picked up at a yard sale just last weekend. It is the Captain Nathan Hale Bridger figure from SeaQuest DSV. And this is a futuristic kind of sci-fi Oceana type series that takes place in the year 2018. We're a little past that now. It lasted, I think, a couple seasons in the early 90s, like 93, 94. I didn't really watch the show, but I found this at a yard sale for a whole $1, still on the card from Playmates Toys from 1993. So I wasn't going to leave it behind for $1. So this is my very first SeaQuest figure. Will I buy more? Probably not, unless I find them really cheap, but what the heck. The next two figures I picked up on eBay and Mercari to round out some of my Inhumanoids. This is Granite, one of the giant rock men from Inhumanoids. So here's a closer look at Granite, who is basically the same figure as Granite from the Inhumanoids line. They made two versions of this rock soldier, if you will. And there he is. Pretty cool details in the face. And like all Inhumanoids figures, they have that clear plastic top that lets the light shine through. And you can cover it up and their eyes go dark. There you go. There you go. I found this guy on Mercari, and I've been looking for him to get closer to completing my Inhumanoids collection. So there's Granite. And just for comparison's sakes, there is Granite. And Granite here I've actually had since childhood. This is my actual childhood Granite that I used to play with all the time, and he is, I don't know, he's pretty beat up. But I wouldn't trade him for the world because I had a lot of fun with this dude. So there are the rock soldiers from Inhumanoids. The other Inhumanoids figure I picked up is Red Sun, which is actually one of 3 tree men in the Inhumanoids line. I kind of like the fang-like teeth that they put on these guys. They definitely add that creepy vibe, as well as the one raised eye, kind of giving the rock eyebrow. No pun intended for all the rock soldiers in this line. But again, it has the clear part, and it even has like the tree rings. So that's a nice detail that Hasbro put in there. And of course, you cover it up. And their eyes go blank. And then these actually extend out like this. And they're supposed to stand like that. And they made 3 of these tree guys. So this is Red Sun, and he's the lighter brown, orangish color. And I'll show you the other one here. This is Red Lyn, and it's the same figure, but a darker brown color, you can see. And then they also made a gray tree man named Red Woods. And he seems to be the most difficult to find. I don't have him yet, so he's actually the last figure I need to complete my Inhumanoids collection, at least the figures. I don't have the vehicles, but so I'll be on the lookout for Redwoods to complete my tree men of Inhumanoids. And the next few items I picked up at Time Traveler Toys down at Winchester. I added this 100% complete Stinger vehicle and figure from the M.A.S.K line to my collection. Okay, so Stinger here, he is a Pontiac GTO. Really sharp looking ride. Who would not want to drive this vehicle? Unlike most M.A.S.K vehicles, these doors do not open. It's got that T-top action. It's got a trunk that flips open to reveal that claw mechanism, as well as the gun that attaches to the front. And then here is Bruno Shepard in the Magna Beam mask. Here he is with the mask on. He's got his pretty wicked tattoo there. Pop that off there. There's Bruno Shepard. I don't know, he looks pretty disgruntled to me. He must be a Venom man. Look at that tattoo. The dagger stabbing the heart. Oh yeah, this guy's definitely evil. No eye patch, but he's definitely evil. Put that back on there. Let me show you what this does here with the Stinger. This little pull tab here, you just kind of pop it out. And this goes up like that. Kind of blocks the windshield, and the treads come out like that on either side, like that, and it still rolls, right? Just like the car did. And then these flip up, make little cannons, and this spins around like some sort of satellite or radar. And then, just like the Raven had, there's little guns here that you can pull out of the wheels on all four tires here, like that. And then you pull the trunk open, and there's this gun, like this. So if you're looking to complete the vehicle, make sure this piece is in the trunk. And that goes up here, kind of mounts right there onto the windshield guard. Looks pretty cool. And then this here inside is basically like a grappling hook, and has a little spring mechanism, so you can actually, you know, grab it onto a M.A.S.K vehicle or even one of the figures if you wanted to. So make sure that's intact in the back as well if you want this complete for your collection. So that is the Stinger with Bruno Shepard and the Magna Beam mask. At Time Traveler Toys, I also picked up 5 little Starcom figures. These are my very first Starcom figures. So here are these Starcom figures, and again, I'm no Starcom expert by any means, but I think it is a really cool toy line that used magnets on the bottom of the figure's feet so they could actually stick to the various play sets and vehicles. So, of course, they had human characters and like robot drone characters, like these guys. And these are only about 2-inch figures. The line was from Coleco back in the day. And here I'm going to show you real quick. And here are these guys too. And they're in pretty good shape. The human characters had visors and different like back accessories and hoses and weapons and stuff. So these are just the basic figures. But I got them for a pretty good price. But I'm going to show you here. There you go. And that kind of shows you that magnet effect. Sorry, it's blocking my light when I hold the tray upside down. But pretty cool. And they just stick to the tray. And there you go. Starcom. And the last item I picked up at Time Traveler Toys is this mint on card Grimskull figure from the Skeleton Warriors line. And here's a closer look at Grimskull. I think that is a great looking figure. Of course, this is from Playmates Toys.
No this, young prince. The skeleton warriors are led by foul men in dark and will stop at nothing. Once they were men, but served a force so evil it devoured everything, leaving only their bones. Now they are advancing towards you, young prince. Oracular, armed to the teeth. Dr. Cyborg, the high-tech horror. The slow but dangerous dagger. All of your allies have fallen, save Lightstar and his companions. Skeleton warriors, they're bad to the bone.
Same time frame that they were still making the Ninja Turtles, and actually some of the most desirable Ninja Turtles from 1994. And this was a short-lived cartoon series as well. Really cool cartoon. Give it a shot. And there is the whole line there. And I'm hoping to find more of these, actually. Bad Dog, the Skeleton Canine, right here. And cool artwork on the card as well. So I got him for pretty cheap too at Time Traveler Toys, so he's my first skeleton warrior. And now that my dad has been feeling a little bit better, he's been getting back out into his garage and kind of, you know, pedaling around out there and seeing what he has in the garage for flea markets and whatnot. He actually found this in a box, and this is the Sledgehammer Vehicle from a pretty obscure line from Tonka Toys called Spiral Zone. See the stickers there on the side, Sledgehammer. So this series was released by Tonka in 1987 and had action figures, vehicles, and they even released different soft goods jumpsuits for the figures. This isn't complete, but I was just kind of happy that my dad found it. I had to actually do a little research to find out what it was because I don't really know a lot about Spiral Zone. The research I've done, you know, there's a cartoon out there. I think you can watch it on YouTube if you want to check it out. But I guess it involves a evil faction called the Black Widows, and then the good guys called Zone Riders, that they are trying to save what is left of the population of this virus that is plaguing mankind that Black Widow put out there. So it's, from what I see, it's a really cool line. I think my buddy Chad has these, and I'll definitely try to pick some more of these up if I find them. I just love, you know, those weird obscure lines of the 80s, and it's so weird my dad had this just sitting out in his garage. So anyway, my first Spiral Zone piece. And the last few items I wanted to show you guys was a bag, yes, literally a bag full of value figures that I picked up at DNE the last time I was there. If you've noticed my videos, in the back room there is a big square table that's, you know, it's hollowed out and it's just filled with tons of action figures for like $2 each. So it's kind of their bargain bin. They, you know, good luck finding their accessories, or if they're complete or not. They, you know, they probably won't be. But for $2 a pop, you have a really good time digging through this bin. And the last time I was there with Chad, he and I just went to town and just dug and dug and dug in this thing and uncovered all sorts of good stuff, like Double Dragon and Robocop, the New Adventures of HeMan. Just really cool stuff, and they've kept it covered up for the last year because of COVID. They don't want people kind of digging in it and, you know, not spread the virus if anybody has it. So they just recently uncovered it again. They had a sheet covering it before, so they just uncovered it. So let's take a closer look at some of the stuff that's in this bag. So the first batch out of the DNE bargain bin are 8 Robocop and the Ultra Police figures.
Robocop, part man, part robot, all cop. Drop it! Robocop and the Ultra Police, each sold separately. The only cops with rapid repeat cap firing.
Evil headhunter on a Skullhawk is cruising for trouble. Robocop and his armored Robo-1 will chase him down. This'll stop you? Oh yeah, nothing can stop Robocop.
You put Robo-1 together. Robocop vehicles and figures with Robocaps, each sold separately.
I can't believe I basically got almost an entire set of these figures. This is from Kenner from 1988. All sorts of different characters in this line, obviously. They're not in the best condition for like $1.50 a piece. When I bundled everything together, I figured, I mean, why not? It's not really a primary line that I collect. Couldn't go wrong with the price here. This one here is Ace Jackson. And so you guys know, you probably already do, but the Robocop figures, much like the Cops and Crooks figures, had the cap firing action. So each of the carded figures and the vehicles and the ED 260 that everybody wants. I really do want the ED 260 because it's basically the ED 209 from the movie. They had these cap firing features on the figure. So that is Ace Jackson. And here is Birdman Barnes. You know, and like I said, they're not in perfect shape, but definitely the price was right. And of course we have Robocop himself. I dug and dug, but I could not find his helmet in the bin, unfortunately, but it's still a cool Robocop figure to have. Here's one of the bad guys. This is Chainsaw. He's a pretty common figure of the line. If you find a group of Robocop figures, you will probably find him. And here is Dr. McNamara. He's one of the bad guys as well. He probably has the most wear out of all the figures here in this lot. So that's Dr. McNamara. This guy here is Headhunter, and surprisingly he's in pretty good shape. Even has most of his paint there, and he's got his tattoo on the back. That's Headhunter. This one here is Wheels Wilson. He's got a lot of wear to his metal body armor. And the last one here from Series 2 is Torpedo Thompson. He's got quite a bit of wear to his nose. All these for just a few bucks. I know you guys would have bought them too. So even if I don't really collect this line, apparently I do now. So next up are these two Double Dragon figures. So this was a cartoon based on the classic Nintendo game. And then, of course, they made action figures to coincide with the cartoon release. And these were done by Tyco in 1993. This is Billy Lee, one of the brothers, of course. The other brother is Jimmy Lee in the red. Of course, he doesn't have any of his accessories, but I dug him out of there. Or Chad did. One of us did. Chad was helping me dig through a lot of this stuff. And then this is, I think, one of the bad bosses, the Shadow Master. And he's kind of a cool figure. It's a cool line. Tyco did a pretty good job with these figures. Nice scale, decent articulation, of course. I mean, not a lot of articulation, but these are fun video game characters to collect because if you think about it, we didn't get a lot of video game action figures back in the day. So the fact that they made the cartoon and then the action figures, I think probably made a lot of Nintendo kids happy. Next up, out of the grab bag of goodies, is this Bull Alien from Kenner in 1992. Of course, this is from the Aliens line. They did such a fantastic job with this line. The details in the Aliens are incredible. And I mean, you have to think this is from the early 90s, you know. There were no McFarlane or NECA or anything like that cranking out toys yet. So the fact that they put this much detail into these $5 figures is awesome. So anyway, this has this little button here on the side, you know, a little plastic piece. And what you would do, you would push down on the arm, it would trigger that button, and the head would pop out. It's kind of on like a little spring. You just have to pull the arm back up so it can latch again. Like that. Great, great line and toy from Kenner. The Bull Alien. And then of course I had to dig at least one Ninja Turtle out of that bin. This is the head dropping Michelangelo from around 1991 from the good folks at Playmates Toys. You just push his head down and then squeeze his two legs together. And then his head pops back up, like that. And I love the different features that they put on the Ninja Turtles as they progressed in the line. I think the sculptors had a lot of fun with the head sculpts. Of course, the head drop in series has Mikey with his tongue sticking out there. So I have that whole collection on card, but I figured why not pick up the loose Mikey for my collection. Another fun line that was released by Kenner in the late 80s is the Police Academy line.
Police Academy!
Well, Mr. Sleaze. Put him up, dirtbag! Surprise, Mahoney. The old gun in the tie trick. Now back off. Okay! My crazy cruiser. What a lucky break.
And I found this guy in the bin. This is Kerry Mahoney, basically the main character in the Police Academy cartoon, as short-lived as it was. And this is from around 1988, of course by Kenner, like I said. This has this little feature, basically a spring mechanism in his arm. And he's not complete. Police Academy, they're starting to increase in value a little, but if you want to collect these guys, it's not really expensive. I mean, I think there are some rare pieces that came out later in the line, or maybe some foreign releases, but the basic set really won't set you back a lot. Then, believe it or not, I found this pretty uncommon Commando figure from Diamond Toys, 1985. This is Blaster, and this is from the basic series of Commando. So they're about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 inches high. But they also released 6-inch Commando figures, at least a couple of them, with actual soft goods clothing. And they also released a giant 16-inch Commando figure. But they released several of these smaller guys from Diamond Toys for the entire line. Chad and I both were pretty surprised to find this dude in here. This is my first Commando figure, and I'm happy to kind of venture into this line. Whether I pursue it or not is yet to be seen. I'm really focused on M.A.S.K right now, but we'll see. I'm glad I got him. I also found this Soarin' Sky Sentry from Captain Power, and this is Mattel 1987. Of course, Captain Power was one of the very, very few, if not only, live action series for kids back in the day. It was not a cartoon, it was a live action, so check that out if you haven't. He's not complete, he's missing his weapon and his wings, but I saved him from the bargain bin. And the last two figures saved out of that bargain bin are 2 figures from Series 3 of The New Adventures of He-Man. Of course, this is by Mattel, but by that point it was 1991 when Series 3 was released. New Adventures of He-Man released in 1989, but these are from Series 3. This is Tuscador. Of course, he is missing his tusks. He had some white plastic tusks that came out of these holes here. And then he had this little button here on the back, and if you would press it down, his tusks would spin around. So that's Tuscador. And then this is Spinwit, and he has he's basically kind of like a Cyclone or whatever from the original He-Man. You just kind of spin him around, and click like that. And then he has a button here on his back. Press down, he spins around like that. And he works well. Like, I'm kind of surprised at how well he works. And he's not flimsy at all. So, and I love the colors on this guy. The orange and mustard yellow, and the different shades of blue, kind of like an aqua blue and pink. Very early 90s. My very first New Adventures of He-Man figures. So that's it, guys. That was Toy Collection Update number 12. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel at ReeYees Retro Toys for all of your toy hunting needs. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on hunting.